All right, y'all, we're in Norway and we're about to walk in Optimera, which is apparently Norway's largest specialty contractor store. Today's build show sponsored by my friends at Siga. Let's get going. Steve, we haven't even walked in the door and I've already found something cool. What is this?
This is very cool. It is a self-green roof package.
Okay.
So you basically have an asphalt roof. We can't really lift it up, but we have an asphalt-based roof barrier.
Yep.
It just requires some type of barrier. In this case, it's asphalt. But you basically put these pans of green roof that are self-dimpled. And
so self-dimpled meaning it's got like these feet that hold it up off the roof and allow drainage through there.
And there's a grid pattern there that allows the movement of water.
That's so cool. And then this guy keeps everything from falling off the roof, but also allows obviously great drainage and airflow.
Drainage, and then we just have this flap here that directs everything into the gutter system to take the water away. So most of the rainwater's taken in by the plants, and what they can't handle simply drains down into the system like it normally would.
That's so cool. And then on the side here, it looks like this asphalt roof membrane, looks like basically like a torch down roof like we'd use a rolled roofing, comes up and over, and then this cap just kind of caps over a bit. If you look real close, you can see that that asphalt comes all the way to the edge here.
Yeah,
how cool
it makes
is that?
a giant pan, if you will.
I love how simple it is, and one of the guys was telling us earlier that a lot of Norwegian cabins love the look of the green roof, and so this is a way to kind of do-it-yourself green roof. How neat. Let's go see what else is inside.
So we have covered storage, which is always nice. And we have something that's kind of interesting. They have the same level of like, this is pressure treated. It might be pine, it might be spruce, something in that family. It's the same sort of like CCA, ACQ family that we get in the United States. You cut it, you have to site treat it. It's covered so that it's not gonna be twisted and bothered by the sun. But they actually have something over here that I think is pretty cool. And I have somebody that I want to introduce you to that was just explaining all of this to me. This is a product called Royal, and I want to introduce you to Kim Dominguez. Kim, thank you for joining us today. We will lace in Kim's Instagram. Kim is a Norwegian influencer who has been nice enough to spend the day with us. So Kim, talk to me about this product. This is called Royal, right?
Yeah. And what you want to know?
So this is treated.
It's treated. It's boiled in fish oil, actually.
Okay, so not ACQ or CCA. It's not a chemical necessarily. I mean, it's still a chemical, but fish oil.
Fish oil, yeah.
So it's a pressure-treated bath that is boiled for a period of time to make it so that it's water resistant.
Actually, yes.
And you guys are using this as
cladding or.
Okay, so we have a not a TNG, but a shiplap so that it's overlap as a siding.
Yeah.
We have 1x, we have 1x6s, we have all sorts of different profiles. This is flooring for a deck.
No, this is cladding.
Cladding.
Yeah.
We have all sorts of exterior products. Comes in how many different colors?
I think it's 5 or 6. So black, brown, gray.
And the fish oil basically takes a pine or spruce family, makes it an exterior product.
They say you don't have to treat it for about 20, 30 years. But if you want to have the same color, I think you should oil it every 5 years, just to maintain the aesthetics.
So it's a reapply fish oil.
But you don't have to.
Okay.
But it's nicer for
if you don't, it turns what, gray?
Yeah, it's a little blush, so yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little lighter in the colors. Yeah.
Okay, leave it up to the Norwegians to figure out fish oil and wood. So when working with this, is there anything that you've found that's different than working with a treated material that you know?
Yeah, just the smell. So that when you come home with the wives, smell that you have been mountain cladding, and so you get stains on your fingers as well.
Okay. So. One other thing that I find interesting is when they do have this tongue and groove profile on the end. Very smart. this outside of the groove is actually sloped.
Yeah.
So there's positive slope on the outside. That's not something that we get in the U.S.
So when the rain hits, it can rain out, and it's also so you can mount it between for the nails.
Yeah.
So you don't have to we call it shade on right on the trim allow the. Okay, so I don't
it's
know
okay.
the English words, but
So you don't have to nail between the two. The next one will capture.
Yes, you can just in between where you nail it.
Yeah.
You can actually, yeah.
So there's super dark, medium.
Yeah.
There's some browns. This is, I'm absolutely blown away by the idea that it's fish oil still.
Yeah.
And one of the other guys on our group was saying that it's along the chemical makeup of some of the things that are in WD-40, even though WD-40 is not fish oil, but it's the same like chemical makeup, and it's just a water displacement process where it's just something that's non-absorptive. I can't believe that we don't have something like this that's like, this is way better for your skin, this is way better for your lungs.
And this is on most houses these days we use this because everyone wants it, because you don't have to go out and paint or anything.
Yeah.
So when you buy a new house, you can relax for a couple of years, many years, and so yeah.
Yeah. And you guys call it Royal, even though there's a bunch of companies that make it now. Royal was like the initiator in the industry.
Exactly.
So it's Kleenex or Band-Aid for us. Royal just were the first guys in the industry.
Yes.
Okay, fish oil. Imagine that.
And one thing, so it's important to you when you use fastener for this, it have to be stainless steel.
Oh yeah.
So it don't corrode.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the fish oil is corrosive. It will do things to your fasteners. Same way we have to talk about when we use CCA or treated.
Yeah.
We have to use rated fasteners. So Kim, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, y'all, let me introduce you to Paul, my local rep here. And Paul, I think at this incredible display of Siga products that you've got here right on the shelf, I think it's awesome that you've got your install manual. Your manuals are incredible. Walk me through how to use this. Give me the basics.
The thing is, this manual is quite easy to understand. We have the inside tapes inside of the Siga house here, and all the outside products is on the outside of this house, marked with red for warm zone and blue for cold zone, and that goes through the whole book. When you look at the manual here,
and look at these great photos too of your install instructions. It's really well done.
Yeah, and when you have a red header, it says it's warm and
it's inside.
Yeah, yeah. And when you have a blue header, we are out and it's cold. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and a couple of just interesting things to note here. We're in a cold climate, right? So outside's cold. We're going to have a watertight layer on the outside, airtight layer, but vapor open, so we can dry to the outside if we need to. But on the inside, we're going to have a vapor control layer. We don't want a bunch of moisture getting through onto a cold condensing surface. So Siga has both membranes for the outside, which keep the water and the air out, but are vapor open. On the inside, it's a control layer. So it's not zero. It's not like it's plastic, but it's a lower perm rating on the inside to control vapor flow through that building. But it's also going to be airtight on the inside, right?
Yeah.
And so all their tapes work together. And while we're here, let's give them a quick tour. Wiglove, which you've got on the shelf in multiple sizes, is an exterior tape for tightness, which I've used before.
which is diffusion open.
Diffusion open, okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can dry through it.
Yeah.
And then as we come into the yellow and green tapes, if you haven't used this, Risam, which is intended to use on the inside of the building, right?
And that's a flexible tape, which go around corners, into tight spots, pipes, stuff like that. Yeah.
And then this Sicrol is a little less expensive version because now it's a paper face, right?
Yeah.
And this one I really like because it's really easy to rip by hand, but this is intended to use on, what's the name of your interior vapor control layer?
On the MyPal or the Myrex.
Or Myrex, right?
Yeah.
Siga Myrex, yeah. And then here's what's interesting. We're in a very masonry heavy area of the world. So you're going to see a lot of their tapes have this kind of perforated dots. Talk to me about what that's for.
Those are for the outside. If you are on doing masonry stuff.
Yep.
And these holes are not just for decoration. It's actually they are to make a binding layer in between the concrete and the tape.
And you can kind of see it on this photo, Paul, which is kind of cool on the box. You can see this guy's taping your membrane to a, let's say, a concrete surface.
Yeah.
And so the flat part of the tape's going against the membrane. That looks like my vest.
Yeah.
And then this dotted portion is going onto the concrete. So let's say you might come back with a cementitious layer, like a stucco coat, basically, over that tape. It would bond to the tape and bond to the concrete with those holes.
Yeah. And one extra thing that's quite special for Siga tapes, these kind is they are pre-folded.
Yeah.
So
and dual release layer too.
Yeah, so you can work directly from the roll. It's really fast.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys make some really nice stuff. And also interesting to note, this same tape comes in black and white Fentrum, and you're going to see that being used against windows a lot in masonry openings, where you've got a new window and a masonry opening. You're going to tape to the window frame, and then you're going to tape to the masonry with the punched hole side. So now we can make a water and airtight connection even in a very old building.
Yeah, correct.
Cool to see all these on the shelf here. Thank you for the tour, Paul. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Check this out. I love how all these contractor stores here in Norway have a huge workwear section. If you saw some of the workmen and women walking around, they always have a uniform on. They typically have their company name right there on their chest. All this workwear is super, it feels like really high performance stuff. Now we've got some brands we have and know and love in America, but there's some here I've never heard of, like Solid Gear. I saw Mascot over there. It's so cool that they have these huge sections through the store of clothing, of shoes, all the protective gear. This has been a really fun tour, guys. Big thanks to Siga for bringing us out. Check out our other videos. We're going to some job sites. We got a lot of cool stuff to see. Go follow my friends Jake and Steve. Go watch their videos on thebuildshow.com and hit that subscribe button. We've got new content here every Tuesday and every Friday. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.